Hey LT, I'm glad you came, because today I want to talk to you about death. And I also want to talk to you again about the process of grief that occurs after death. Now, why is this an important topic for you to know about? Let's be honest. You're in the military now. Death is inevitable, whether it be from combat, non-combat, or unfortunately if someone takes their own life. Death just happens in our job. Secondly, by knowing the grief process that everybody goes through, you won't be surprised when death occurs and you go through all these emotions, these feelings, to finally get to accepting that that person is gone and there isn't anything you can do to bring them back. Now, this model comes from Dr. Kubler-Ross. It was approximately 50, 60 years ago. She came up with the 5 stages of grief. And those are shock denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and finally acceptance. Now let's look at that first one. Shock and denial. That occurs when you get that first notification that, hey, one of your best friends has suddenly died in a plane accident, or your mentor has taken their own life, or you're just getting that, hey, where's so-and-so in the squadron? Oh, you didn't hear. You're going to be in shock and denial. It's just a natural reaction that humans have. This can't be. This isn't happening. Understand, that's normal, okay? These are all normal processes. The next one is anger. You'll probably be angry. Angry at, okay, God, why did this happen? God, why did they take their own life? Why is this happening? Anger. It happens. It's normal. It's all right to be angry at the dead person if they took their own life, or if it was an accident that they probably could have avoided. It's okay. You can be angry, all right? Then bargaining. Bargaining can be a hard one. Lord, maybe this didn't happen if I had been there. If I could see all the mistakes that were being made on this flight, I could have stopped it. They'd all be alive. Or maybe if I had said something nice to that person before they left work yesterday. Or maybe the last thing you ever said to them was pretty mean. That can be bargaining, and you just want to go back and fix it. That's a normal feeling to have, okay? And then there's depression. Depression can be really easy to get stuck into. It's a place that I got stuck into because I didn't go through this process like I needed to for some issues almost a decade ago. I tell you these things now so you avoid what I went through. And finally is acceptance. Acceptance that the death occurred. You don't have to like it, but they're not coming back. So acceptance is where you want to get to. Then you can move on with life. Now, knowing this process, and it occurs with everybody, you can look out for everybody else in your squadron. Know that those feelings, those emotions, you're going to go through. It won't be scary. It just happens. These are normal things to go through, all right? Keep an eye out for your wingmen. They might get stuck in depression. That's a really easy one to get stuck into. And then by knowing this model, that 5 points again, shock denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance, you can apply that model to other things in life as well. If somebody gets wounded, they will probably go through that exact grief process, as everything they thought they could do in life has now changed. They want to get to acceptance that, hey, there are still things I can do. I'm a medically grounded person. I had to come to the acceptance that I'm never going to fly again. But once I got there, I was able to become aware of things I could do, how I could impact the Air Force, how I could help out. No longer was I flying a plane. Now I get to sit here with you and do mentorship and reach more people around the Air Force than I ever would have before. So that's all I wanted to talk to you about today, is dealing with death. We're in the military. It's gonna happen. Remember those 5 steps, those 5 things in the process. That's shock denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and finally acceptance. I want you to understand that all of that is normal to go through. So thanks for coming, and I'll see you in the force.